Greetings and welcome to Growth Hacking Secrets. I'm your host Mohammed Siddique from Atlanta, Georgia, and the co-author of New Success Secrets available on Amazon. On this episode, we have a special guest, John Francis. John is a business board builder and franchising expert. Please join me to give a warm welcome to our guest, John Francis. John, welcome.
Hi there, Siddique. Thank you. Nice to see you. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who you were surrounded with that inspired you to become the franchising expert?
Well, I'm a lucky kid. I grew up in a franchise company. My mother and father started a hair salon franchise business. So when I was a kid, I thought everything was a franchise. I thought everybody owned 2 or 3 businesses and everybody worked for themselves, except the people that worked for us. So we had a great success in franchising early on with the family business. I learned a lot. I worked really hard from an early age, so I got a good start. We sold that business 22 years ago. It was a very successful sale. And I went on to do 5 more franchise companies myself as a franchisor, as a franchisee, and as what we call a supplier to the franchise industry. So I've grown up in franchising my entire life.
Wonderful. So, what are the top 3 mistakes to avoid?
The top 3 mistakes to avoid in franchising. Number 1 is people experiment with the business. When you buy a franchise, you should follow that model and implement the systems completely. Do not experiment. The second mistake people make in franchising is they forget they're part of a franchise. When you're a franchise, you're part of a group, part of a family, hopefully. It's good culture. You want to work with the family, work with the other owners, the people at the headquarters, the supplier companies. You want to work with those people. You're part of a group, part of a community. Franchising is best done as a team effort. You work together with other people in that brand to make everyone successful. The third mistake to avoid in a franchise is to separate from the brand. Sometimes when people are in a system a long time, they think they don't need to go to training, they don't need to go to conferences, they don't need to do what they used to do. And that's a mistake. You need to stay connected to the brand. Keep going to the conferences, keep participating in the programs and the training programs, because you're going to learn new ways and new things. A good franchise will change and evolve and get better over time. So a franchise owner needs to stay connected to that system.
Wonderful. What are your greatest failure story? What did you learn and how did you recover from it?
My greatest failure story, I've got several, but the one that comes to mind is I opened a franchise store inside of a grocery store. And this was a business service center inside. And we thought we could take over their service counter and do a great job. The failure was our pricing strategy was flawed, because the service that we took over had priced everything at low cost. They were losing money. That's why we took it over. We came in and attached a price model at full retail, which was about 30% higher. And the customers were shocked at the price increase. So we tried to change our strategy and offer some discounts from our regular price to discount to what they were used to. But it really didn't work. And the pricing model failed, and that business failed. After only 1 year, I shut it down and closed it. And what did I learn is I probably should have done more research in advance to talk to those local customers in that location to find out how price sensitive they really were. We underestimated that sensitivity, and I lost that unit.
And how did you recover from it?
Well, I closed that one, but I had 17 more, so it was okay. I could survive it, but nobody likes to fail. It was expensive. It cost me time and money and attention, but I learned my lesson, and I would never do that the same way. I would do it differently next time.
Yeah, you embraced your failure, basically. That's what you did.
That's right. It's tuition. You learn from it, so it's tuition.
Okay, wonderful. So enough about your failures and mistakes to avoid. Let's talk about your successes. What are the top 3 success secrets the others can model from?
I think 3 success secrets. One is pay attention, right? Keep curious. I think that's a good personality trait, is you learn things in unexpected ways sometimes. Every once in a while, I'll get to a show or a conference about franchising, because that's where I live, in the franchise world. But if I'm in a facility, maybe a convention center, and there's another show going on, some other, one time I went to a book author conference, right? I've never wrote a book. I don't want to write a book, but I walked in and got in to go through their conference just to look around. And I learned some things about different industries. So stay curious would be number one. Number two is never quit, right? Winners never quit and quitters never win. And what that means to me, what I learned from my father is you got to work a little bit harder than the next guy. Otherwise, why shouldn't he get what you're trying to get? So you just have to work a little bit harder and not give up. Stick with it. The third success secret I would say is ask for help. Don't be afraid to talk to other people about your challenges. In your franchise, that's a beautiful thing because you're surrounded by other franchisees and corporate people. In real life and real business, I've got friends from school, friends from college, friends from work, friends from other activities, other hobbies and other groups and families, my neighbors, friends, everybody. I'm not afraid to ask people, what do you think about this situation? They may not have a good answer, but they might ask you a question that makes you think about it in a different way. So I think asking for help from anybody in an appropriate way is a good success secret that works for me.
Wonderful. John, you are not as good as you think. You are better. I can tell the clarity of your questions. There's really great wisdom here. So years of working with the franchisees. So we are about to head into the lightning round session. That means quick question and quick answer. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What are you grateful for today?
I'm grateful for my health. I've been having just some minor health issues, and I've seen a good doctor, and he's got me on the right track. I lost a little bit of weight, and I'm feeling better. So I'm grateful for good health.
How young are you?
I'm only 54 years old.
54?
54. Yeah.
You are not 54.
I'm 19 with some experience, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's what you got. So thank you. You got the idea. You are 18 years old plus experience. Okay.
Thank you.
What you want to do when you grow up?
I love to help people with their business, whether it's a franchise business or any kind of business. I love business owners. I think like an owner, and I want to help other business owners with their business. I don't want to buy it. I don't want to work there. I just want to help them get it right.
Wonderful. How do you overcome a challenge life throws at you?
Well, I think my challenge is when I get a challenge is I'll stop and think about it for a little while. I try to be thoughtful and analytical. I try to think what could happen if I do this, if I do that, if I do something else, what could happen. So thinking it through, and then really, again, hard work. There's no substitution for hard work. So I'm willing to do the work, do the research, take the time, have the conversations, read, study, learn, and try to find a solution for those challenges. Hard work.
How do you start your day?
I get up out of bed with my lovely wife, have some coffee, and I walk our dog. We have a nice little dog, and I take that dog for about only a short walk, maybe half a mile, 3/4 mile. So not too long, but it gets me up and outside. I love the fresh air. It's usually in the morning. Of course, it's sunny and nice. I live in Minnesota, so sometimes it's very cold and you got to dress real heavy for the winter. But I love to get up, get some coffee, and get outside. That to me is a good start to the day.
What is the advice you will give to younger yourself?
My younger self, I would tell myself to be patient. I've learned how to be patient, especially now as a father with kids. You learn patience, and it becomes a very important skill to stay calm and know that everything takes more time and more money than you ever expect. I'm an overly optimistic entrepreneur, like I think all of us are. Yeah. And so learning to be patient. If I had learned that a little earlier, I probably would have avoided some frustrations.
Once you have a revenue generating idea, how do you convince your significant other?
Well, that would be my lovely wife. And it's usually pretty easy. I have to explain to her how the time value is worth the reward in economics or some economic benefit or some equity benefit. I'm always trying to be less busy and more valuable. And sometimes it's hard to tell the difference because it's easy and fun to be busy, but it's hard sometimes to be valuable. So I have to ask myself, is this more busy or more valuable? And she helps me understand that sometimes. I don't see it the same way. So it's helpful to talk to her sometimes.
Sometime. That's a clue. Not every time. Okay. Yeah, I'm listening carefully. I'm an intentional listener. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
what is what is the impactful book you have read, and what did you learn from it?
I have this book, and I actually borrowed my copy, but I printed a copy. It's called Traction.
Yeah.
This is the book. But the author is Gino Wickman. This is a business system called the Entrepreneurial Operating System. And this book provides advice to business owners to add structure and accountability to your business or really any organization. And it's helped me, and I use it sometimes with clients. We find it very practical, tactical things that you can do to help add structure and accountability to grow your business. It's wonderful.
Why being impactful is important to you?
It's important to me to help other people. I'm a believer in the philosophy. I think it was Zig Ziglar said, if you help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want. And I think I learned that early through franchising. Franchising is all about collaboration and work together. So I grew up in that environment of what we call a win-win-win. When it's done properly, everybody benefits, everybody wins. So being impactful is important to me to help other people, because then I'll get what I deserve from helping those others.
Who is your mentor, and what is the impact?
My mentor, I would say my father, Joe Francis. And the impact is I'm a lucky kid. I'm the last of 5 kids in my family. So by the time I was growing up, things were already pretty big and pretty successful. And my dad had learned he wanted to be closer to his children. He didn't have to work so many hours. He didn't have to travel so much. So I was lucky to get closer to him. I spent more time with my father than my siblings did, my older siblings. And the impact is that I learned from him, and I was close to him, and I think I have adopted a lot of his philosophy and a lot of his approach to work, and I'm very grateful for that.
What do you want to be remembered for?
I want to be remembered for being a good guy who was genuine and authentic, and really helped serve people through business. I guess that's my vehicle, and particularly franchising is where I live. I like to be known as a guy who made a difference for other people.
Who is your ideal client?
My ideal client is a franchisor, a corporate system, or a franchisee, the owners of the units, who's had their business for a little while and something has gone wrong. They stopped growing, or they've grown too fast, or people are frustrated, or it's just not working anymore. My ideal client is a franchise business that's having some struggle, some challenge, and they don't know how to fix it. I like to be that problem solver for those folks.
Wonderful. How can we support you?
It would be great to have you visit my website. Johnny Franchise is a nickname I was given about 5 years ago, so I embrace that as my brand. My name is John Francis, and there's the link. Thank you. So if you add an H and an E to my last name, I become Johnny Franchise. Lots of material there. I have a blog I've been writing for years. I have some video programs there, all kinds of material for free. And you can certainly reach me, schedule a call, connect with an email. And I'm on all the socials, of course, the usual ones, I guess.
Yeah. Not the unusual one like yet. So johnnyfranchise.com. Thank you so much. John, we are about we are about to wrap up. And I'd like to have your few words about your guest experience on the show.
Thank you, Siddique. I've enjoyed the being on the show. I appreciate your preparation, the materials you send and the video to help the guests be prepared, and that was very helpful. It helped me get my thoughts in order and be well prepared. So I enjoyed it, and I appreciate it.
Thank you for your kind words. What would you say as a final word?
Final word is good luck to you and good luck to everyone. I think as we come through this COVID period now in the US and really around the world, I'm very optimistic that we're going to be better for it in some ways. If you've survived the COVID personally, and if your business survived the COVID, I think we're ready for some growth, and things will be different, but I think it can be better. So I remain optimistic.
Yeah, remain optimistic. Thank you so much, John, for sharing your wisdom with us today. On the behalf of Growth Hacking Secrets community and our entire team, we really appreciate you. This is Mohammed Siddique signing off from Atlanta, Georgia. Until the next episode, all good wishes.
Thank you, Siddique. Thank you.